Couple of things as we are recording some breaking news on a couple of fronts that have come through. So if you guys are checking this out, I'm glad that we get to react to this now. But we have the 2022 team captain, Solana. A lot of them.
A lot of them, but there's one everybody cares about.
One everybody cares about, and obviously that is a Landon Roberts. Landon Roberts is, again, a team captain.
52.
Back-to-back years. No, okay, so here are your team captains. Christian Wilkins, Teron Armstead, a Landon Roberts, Xavier Howard, Tyreek Hill, Javon Holland.
Okay.
I like Javon Holland being a captain.
Me too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Year 2?
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive from Javon Holland. And finally, in year 3, Tua Tagovailoa is a mother bleeping captain.
Finally.
I'm the captain now.
Let's go.
That's how. Listen, you want to know something? Can I just say, this is how you captain, okay? Last year, with Jesse Davis being worst captains of all time, Pendulum, TikTok Boy, Jesse Davis, the worst captains I've ever seen, and no Tua. This is how you captain. The best players on the team. That's who your captains are.
You love to bleep and see it. Finally. Like, this is, man, it was so simple, right? To make the right moves to make people feel comfortable around this organization, and Flo wanted none of it.
None of it. It's just like always just make it a little bit more difficult.
And it's so simple. Like, this just makes everybody happy. That's it. Make Tua the captain. It wasn't that hard. Don't tell me captains have to earn it. Get out of here with all that nonsense. The team votes. No, I don't care what the team votes for. We all did those stupid little votes in elementary school for who would be class president. And guess what? The teachers always rigged it. You want to know why? Because there's a reasoning behind certain moves. And this is one that had to be done. Tua, captain.
Yes.
It's simple. It's obvious. Everybody's happy.
I like also how on the Dolphins tweet they list him on top captain.
First one.
So let me tell you something right now on these debate shows. I better mother bleeping see a bunch of, Tua's named a captain this year, because I know it was a storyline last year that he wasn't.
That's right.
Oh, that captain list last year stunk.
This Colin Coward did 3 shows on
3 shows on it, dude.
Tua not being a captain and how that's going to affect the Dolphins moving forward and their quarterback situation. By the way, we mentioned Jesse Davis being a captain last year. Worst captain of all time. The worst captain in the history of sports.
Captain of injuring your players.
You saw Brian Flores.
I did.
And the Steelers.
I did see this.
Going out and trading for Jesse Davis.
Giving an asset for Jesse Davis.
This Brian Flores is out of his mind.
I don't understand it. How did he did he just decide does he go to Mike Tomlin, goes, I got a little depth problem? I got the guy.
I know just the fix.
He's versatile. He can play every position poorly.
But, Brian, didn't he give up the sack that injured your franchise quarterback last year for 7 weeks?
He did. And the one that knocked Jacoby Brissett out as well. And that one too.
So why should we bring him in?
Trust me. Experience. Experience is the key. So great captains list that comes out for the Dolphins. I like that.
Little Hollywood Vaughn, Cheetah.
Dude, yes,
that's a no-brainer, right? You can't not have Cheetah.
Gotta have the Cheetah. Well, that's been a thing. McDaniel's made a big point about Cheetah's leadership. He's not only. I think that everybody knows how good a receiver he is, and everybody's basically been saying he's a distraction. And McDaniel's saying no, he's not. That when you do something like that, you make him a captain. You're basically saying to him that, no, I believe in this guy and what kind of an influence he can be on this team, and especially to the young players. So that's good. Oh, I love that captain's list.
No Jason Sanders. I was kind of hoping the kicker would squeak in somehow. I always like a kicker as a captain.
Do you?
Yeah, just for no reason other than it's Jason Sanders.
The only special teamer I want as a captain is John Denny. That's it.
Yeah.
The great John Denny, long snapper extraordinaire, should be in the Ring of Honor. But other than that, beautiful. Well done. Now, the Dolphins do have one concern that's been going on right now, and that is the health of Jalen Waddle. He was back at practice yesterday as far as the media could see him, but now that training camp is closed, they don't really know what he's doing. The last time I saw him in action was the last week of camp, the Tuesday before the joint practices started. He did some individual drills, but we haven't really seen him do anything against competition for about 3 weeks now, and he was having himself a really, really good camp. Concerned at all with the idea that Jalen Waddle is not maybe up to full speed yet? They have, as football and sports want to do, they're not very forthcoming when it comes to injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't concerned because the way McDaniel framed this 3 weeks ago when he missed his first couple of days of practice was preventative measures by the Dolphins training staff, and he made it pretty clear that Jalen wanted to be out there. Jalen's been frustrated.
Mad at him.
Right, like he's been frustrated and mad that the coaching staff and the training staff are keeping him out. But then I saw this tweet from Adam Beasley, and he says lots of concern about the corners. Obviously, Byron Jones still on the PUP list. He'll miss the first 4 games. But Jalen Waddle's now in his 3rd week of dealing with an unspecified injury, and he says believed to be soft tissue lower body. It's hard not to be concerned because the same way we're concerned about the defense and beyond the fact that Noah Igbenogany might have to get reps as a corner, this defense was constructed to work around 2 unbelievable corners. Xavier Howard on one side, Byron Jones on the other.
Right.
And when you take one of those out, I mean, look, the Dolphins defense is still really good. It's still elite. You still have X out there, but it's just not going to function the way that it's supposed to when those 2 are healthy. The same idea works with Tyreek Hill on the offense lining up. If you don't have, how did he put it? He's the Ferrari and Jalen's a Lambo.
Maserati and a Ferrari,
right.
Whatever.
If you don't have
super fast,
right? If you don't have the other guy on the other side, I mean that eliminates your offense in a certain way.
Yeah,
it's the easy take. Jalen Waddle on the team is better, obviously, but it's not just anybody. It's that other element of speed that keeps the defense from knowing what you're doing and keeps their eyes on one guy, Cheetah in the backfield, and letting Jalen go nuts over the top. So I'm just concerned because you're telling me we're going to start week 1 against the Patriots and have to go into that gauntlet without Byron Jones and maybe without Jalen Waddle. Yes, that is concerning.
I'm more concerned about, if I had to rank them, I'm definitely more concerned because I feel like they can cover the loss of Waddle a lot better than it feels like right now they can handle the loss of Byron Jones.
Yeah.
And then also, we don't really know with Byron Jones. We were told Byron Jones is going to be ready for the beginning of the season. Byron Jones is going to be good to go. And now he's going to miss at least 4 games. And then what does it mean to get him into football shape? What does it mean to get him up to speed? What does that process look like? So it could be one of these things that when you don't have a training camp and you're also coming off of injury, what is the timeline like for him to get back? If Jalen Waddle has to miss, the first game or even the first couple of games, okay, there's still Cedric Wilson. I think we've all been impressed with Ezukama and what he's been able to do. I think that they can handle that a lot better. I also think that they are in super cautious mode right now because I think they're confident with how he's taken in the knowledge of the playbook that there's no need to push him. I'll be concerned if he's not practicing by next week. Like if there's the first Tuesday and he is it's reported that, and McDaniel admits he hasn't been out there and we see the practice report because they do have to put out a report that says whether you're limited or whether you're doing it. Now they can get cutesy with that and they could fudge it a little bit. But that's when I would start getting concerned. If this is the last week where, okay, we want to be uber cautious with him, I do think it's enough for Jalen Waddle to ramp up because I think, one, he obviously has already pretty set chemistry with Tua. He is seemingly, they're raving about how he's handled the playbook. But, he is still a guy, there were some durability questions with him coming into the league, so that could be a little bit of a concern, but I'm not all the way there yet to level. I wouldn't say I'm concerned yet, but I'm definitely one more week, and I'll be all right, now I'm getting. I would say I'm a step away from getting nervous, which is a step away from being concerned.
Yeah, and it was really just that tweet, soft tissue. You never want to see that.
No,
that's where I was like, oh no, what could be the issue down there?
Yeah, he's got some sleeve on his right leg. We don't really know. And I think until they have to give out an injury report, I don't think they really, it's not, they can go pretty much hockey mode until then.
Yeah.
They can be incognito about it.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Before we get out of here, man, any things that really stood out about the final roster, anything that really surprised you as far as cuts are concerned or the way they shaped things?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily surprising. I think, the biggest question marks were, what are they going to do with the offensive line? Solomon Kinley doesn't end up making it.
Right.
And then with the wide receivers, we knew it was going to be Sanders, it was going to be Craycraft. Which one of those guys wasn't going to make it? Were they going to keep 6? They ended up only keeping 5.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that. I was a little surprised that they only went with 5 wide receivers. I thought for sure the way Craycraft played in that last game and because of his past with McDaniel,
right.
I thought that was going to be enough to earn him a spot. Braylon Sanders, I'm not super surprised he got cut because I just think that he's undrafted. That's an uphill climb, and it was a pretty stacked room as it was. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back on practice squad or signs with somebody else. Bowden and Preston Williams, not surprising at all that they were gone.
Yeah. I think the writing was on the wall. I told you, the second Preston Williams didn't play in that first preseason game until they threw him out there to get a punt return. I knew the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
He was donezo
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, that pretty much stood out to me. But when you have to keep Skylar Thompson, you have to keep that third quarterback.
Oh, I know. I can't believe we've gone this whole podcast. We haven't even talked about your boy Skylar Thompson.
I was hyped up. I know. Once again, we found ourselves another issue to be divided upon here in Dolphins Nation. But man, he earned his roster spot.
He did.
Can we agree there? He earned his roster spot.
He definitely did. I think that. Honestly, I think that you look at it and you question, do you keep Teddy Bridgewater? I think that would have been the interesting debate. Because did he outplay Teddy Bridgewater? I would say he definitely did in practices and all that type of stuff. Now, it's different because he gets to go up against, weaker players and he doesn't have to go against the top-of-the-line guys. But every single time he was on the field, he was making big plays. Yeah, there were a couple he got really lucky on because he's a risk taker. He was a risk taker, and I think that that's what he needed to do. He needed to kind of show that he's going to make some big-time throws to show that he's got that that level of confidence in his game, especially being a little bit of an older player. The idea, though, that they have the next Tony Romo or something like that, though, I was a little taken aback. I'm not going to lie. I was a little taken aback by the press conference that Chris Greer and McDaniel were almost giddy with how much they loved Skylar Thompson. I was like, all right, guys, calm down a little bit.
What was the quote Greer said was that they called a couple teams around the league and asked hey, what do you think about this Skylar Thompson guy? And I think his quote was, they said that if we drop him, we're crazy. If we waive
stupid.
him,
Yeah.
right? We're stupid, and we're not in the business of being stupid.
And cool. All right, but I just can see it Tua has
I
one.
love that.
I know you
that.
do, but one stinker from Tua, and everybody's gonna be starting the drum beat.
Yep.
And I do think that for Chris Greer, right now, his career, we were talking about, it's very improved right now. He's holding his head high. But his legacy for a lot of this is going to be, especially if Tua doesn't turn around, that you passed on Justin Herbert 1 pick before Tua Tagovailoa. Fair or not, understand it's not all him, but that is going to be on his legacy, the top of his resume as a GM. But one of the things that I think can always eradicate that is if you found the gem QB where nobody found the gem QB.
Yeah.
That can almost wash it off. So I was he was peacocking a little bit for me with Skylar Thompson.
He was. I think they feel like they had something there. They really do. Beyond him being a good start or backup quarterback potential, I feel like they low-key think they may have found the diamond in the rough. And really quickly, something else that we haven't even touched on, the running back room. We knew that it was going to be Chase Edmonds, and we knew it was going to be who am I missing there? Mostert. But did any of us believe Savon Ahmed and Myles Gaskin were going to make this roster? Both of them?
Not coming into camp. I didn't think there was a shot in hell they were both going to make this team out of camp.
Yeah.
I thought no shot in hell. I thought that they bring in Sony Michel. He's got the pedigree.
Right.
But as the preseason went on and we watched how Sony was playing in comparison to those guys, it makes a lot of sense. Those guys, if we're talking about earning jobs, those guys outplayed him by a mile. And so I think it does make sense that they did keep him around. And I do think, look, if you're on a team where Myles Gaskin and Savon Ahmed are your 3 and 4, and you can bring them in every time, change of pace, can do some things and get tricky with them, great.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be my lead backs. I don't think that they're that. And I think we're also seeing an improved line, so we might see improved performances from them as well. Before we get out of here, we started off this podcast talking about how shook the Patriots are. I think we should end it like that. Give me the news that you sent me.
The Patriots have just signed, as we're recording this podcast, Lynn Bowden Jr. to their practice squad.
Classic coward move.
Unbelievable.
Classic of the old brain drain.
We said it, though. He's pulling out every trick in the book.
Every trick in the book. This dude is so shook on the talent of his team, Bill Belichick. He don't know what's going to hit him. It's a beautiful thing. Well, Solana, this was a newsworthy pod. We had a lot of stuff to hit on today.
Yeah.
We had the captain's break during the show today. Fun times here on the Porpoise Pod. Thanks you to everybody for your continued support of the show, and we will be back next week to get you ready. An official game week the next time we talk to you guys. Until then, thank you for all your support of the Porpoise Pod, and we'll talk to you next time.